Good morning, everybody. Today's a lovely day, although it's raining where we are. Anyway, I'm really excited to talk to you guys about two things, and then we're going to have so much fun chatting with Sheila. Sheila is knocking it out of the park. She's brand new, and so I love chatting with some brand new people because I like things are fresh in their memory. Like, what was life like right before I got started? How is it changing, so far? And what kind of results did I get right off the bat? Now, mind you, keep in mind, that some people get faster results right after starting, and some people get slower results right after starting. It all kind of evens out after 90 days, and everybody's kind of on the same journey. But that is something important to think about, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But in the meantime, I want to talk to you real quick about, well, one, Amy just mentioned it. She's doing hustle and sweat and hustle right after this, so that's important. I'm not sure, Kaylee, maybe you should let me know, give me a heads up or heads down if I should be mentioning Friday, or if that's heads up. Okay, so Friday, Kaylee's offering a guided meal planning. So we're going to test this out, and if it works out really well, she might do it every week. But Friday afternoon, I'll give you more heads up. I'm not sure what time. Maybe she'll let us know. Friday afternoons, probably around 4-ish, she will be doing a guided, just like a guided power hour for us coaches, but more like a meal planning. So for anybody, it doesn't matter if you're in coaching or not coaching or inviting people or not. If you want to work on meal planning and be kind of held accountable to weekly meal planning, Kaylee's going to offer that up 4:00, I think. Don't hold me to that time, but on Friday, and she'll be guiding it through. So it'll be like, okay, let's set a timer and look up recipes for breakfast. Okay, set a timer, let's look up recipes for lunch. And so I think that's huge value, huge value. And then Kaylee will be on there also, so that if you have extra questions, you can ask them. I think that's really cool and such a great value. Lastly, I just want to, I got to talk about some of our products here, right? I started 21 Day Fix Extreme this week, which would normally make me incredibly sore, but I'm drinking my Recover every day. And let me tell you why. Because I have now been doing this for a long time, probably 10 years, working with other people. And one of the biggest things I hear is, I got started, I'm so sore, and now I'm not going to, I took 2 or 3 days off. And when you're doing that, it doesn't help you get into a routine. It doesn't help you get into a habit, right? And whether it's just because you switched up your programs and now you started a brand new program, or just because you started working out and you haven't been working out for months, years, or ever, when you get started, you're going to be sore. And so Recover makes a huge difference. My husband, who is not real into referring products, I should say that, he's all
Be nice.
Ooh, there he is. He goes, oh my gosh, this stuff is magic. It's magical. It's magical. And he says it every single time he works out and drinks it. Not only is it magical because he's not sore, it's magical because it tastes really, really good. So there's 2 flavors. There's chocolate, and I think it tastes like cold hot chocolate. It's really amazing. And then there's the orange, which honestly I don't drink much. However, I've had it, and it does taste very similar to orange creamsicle. So those 2 drinks are amazing. I absolutely love them. So I'm going to check out this chat real quick before we hop on with Sheila. Yes and yes. Everybody's saying yes, Kaylee. Yes. Yes, 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 they need help with meal planning. Yes, they would love to be held accountable. Yes, Kaylee, you're a rock star. Yes. Blah, blah, blah. I need that. Thank you, Kaylee. Love this. Okay. So, Kaylee, they asked to also if you can record it when you're on there. So, okay, cool. More information about that will be coming out soon. Okay. So, Sheila, please unmute yourself because I'm going to introduce you. Sheila has an awesome story, and honestly, guys, everybody has an awesome story, and I love asking people about their stories because it's in listening to people's transformations that you can pick up on little cues for yourself. It also keeps me motivated when I hear other people's stories. I think it's really important to listen to people about where they were before, how they got there now, where are they headed. Because, you know, honestly, everybody's in their fitness journey, like beginning, middle, there's really never an end. So I love hearing it. I feel like it's very inspiring to share your story. So Sheila, okay, do you know exactly when you got started? Because I don't know the date.
It was the second week of April.
The second week of April.
Yeah.
So it's been a month.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
6
like a
weeks.
month and a week, or
A month and a week. Let's just call it 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Somewhere around 6 weeks. So, okay, here's the deal. I want you to tell us, I'm going to put you on speaker view so people can see your beautiful face. Oh, you look so pretty this morning. I feel like, man, I should
have
be
no
dressed
idea.
up.
I went to bed with my hair wet last night, so it was all kinds of crazy. And I'm standing there with the iron brush, just trying to like get the craziness out of it this morning, because I was like, I cannot go on camera like this.
I love it. Okay, so tell me where, like, what led you to want to get started? Where were you? How did you feel? How long did you feel that way? All those fun things.
Okay, so this is going back a few months prior to all of this COVID stuff happening. I was just feeling bad. I just, everything about it. I wasn't fitting into my clothing. I just felt tired all the time. When I'm at work, like physically on campus, I'm extremely, extremely busy. So for Christmas, my birthday's 5 days after Christmas. So I asked my husband, please get me an exercise bike for Christmas. So he did. And I loved it. I was getting on as much as I could, but I still wasn't like, I was just kind of staying where I was at. And then all of this COVID stuff started happening. We got sent home from campus. And for the first 2 weeks, I'm like, oh, this is going to last 2.5 weeks. Okay, I can just veg out, sit on the sofa, watch TV with my computer, do my work. And I was feeling even worse. And then they said, okay, we're closed till what was the first date they gave us? Like May? I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, this is happening a little bit longer than I thought, and this can't continue. So I thought, you know what? Everybody's posting about, oh, I'm putting on pounds with all this stuff. And I'm like, I can't be that person. I can't put on any more pounds. So I started changing my diet on my own, just, cutting back and watching what I was eating. And of course, I mean, I've been following you for years. And I said, you know what? It's time. I'm getting this bonus check. I'm bonusing myself. And I did it. And I've been doing it every day like I'm supposed to, except for my, recovery days. But it was finally knowing I had the time, which I always bitch about. I don't have the time. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Complain about. And I have the area to do it. So it's like, okay, I'm just going to do it.
I love it. So just to clarify, you work at Lehigh University, right?
Yes, I do.
So you work on campus. And I remember talking, like, okay, so let's go back for a second for all the people who are coaches on here, just because, guys, reaching out to people and offering our opportunity, like our solutions, shouldn't feel weird, okay? So, like, I've been talking to Sheila for years, like she said. And I remember you saying, I'm going to the gym I started Lehigh, I'm going to the gym there, which, by the way, the gym there is absolutely gorgeous. And then you also got a bike, and I just kept following up. I was like, okay, yeah, no problem. That's cool. I don't remember if you reached out to me or I reached out to you at first. Like, I don't remember how that happened, but I do remember that we talked for a long time. And funny thing is, years ago, I did a free group, and Sheila joined me on the free group, which had nothing to do with health and fitness. It was all about finance. We'll talk about that in a minute, because I think, honestly, your story is amazing with that. But one of the things that just struck me that you said right now was bonus to myself.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until you made a commitment where I was like, you know what? I'm going to work on myself. You were already making that commitment. You made it in December. You made it, right prior. You were like, you know what, I can't do this. I'm going to work on myself. And then you finally made another commitment with us to work on your health and fitness. So tell me, what did you start with? Because I know you did Country Heat, but I couldn't remember if you tried something originally and then went to Country Heat. No. Okay.
No.
So Sheila started with Country Heat, but go ahead and tell us what else you started with. You started with Country Heat, and what else for your nutrition?
I started with the Country Heat and the 2B mindset, and watching those videos, I had I had the basics when I started. I was kind of following what she said, but she gave some really great ideas for how to, like, never would have thought of using rutabaga instead of potatoes. And I have switched over. My whole family, they don't even know. They don't know. They don't know. I roast rutabaga. I make rutabaga mashed potatoes. They don't know. So pretty much my whole family is on 2B mindset without even knowing it.
I love that.
So that was like a big learning experience, just watching some of her ideas that she threw out, and incorporating jicama and like all different kinds of vegetables that you don't even think about.
Yeah, it's true. I thought I was that healthy either. I thought I knew, like when you've been watching what you have to eat, because like for me, genetics plays a big role. I can gain weight incredibly fast. And now genetics and age and nursing and all that, it's just such a big role, and I can gain weight incredibly fast. But my entire life, I've always watched what I ate, learned about nutrition as much as I can. So when 2B Mindset came out, I was like, am I really going to learn much? Do you know what I mean? Like, how much am I really going to learn? But man, her tips, her tricks, it's really the psychology around food and the fact that she works with people every day, right, around food. And so I love listening to her. She gives so many great tips. Your results inspired me to make sure I start tracking again. I'm down like 3.5 pounds this week because of it. So thank you.
I like her approach too, because like I was telling you when I first was signing up, I am not a prep person. I cannot prep that far in advance, because mostly because of my kids, because they're two very, very large boys, and like I go with whatever I have in the refrigerator that's gonna make it, and I make dinner, and sometimes I make something separate from me because I have to feed them, and they want pasta and sauce, and I'm not going to have that. So I make the fish with the roasted vegetables. And yeah, I liked her approach, because I didn't feel like, oh my God, I have to get all these little containers together, or I have to have everything lined up in the refrigerator for the next week. We have 2 refrigerators. There's no way I can do that. It's just, it's too much anxiety for me. I just need to get up and just do it for the day. Like I can plan for the day. That's as far in advance I can get. Maybe 2 days, maybe.
How old are your
planning
boys?
on leftovers,
How old are your boys?
20. He's gonna be 21 next month. Oh my God. And 16.
Yeah, and the boys, teenage boys, they eat a lot of food.
Yeah. Well, the 20-year-old is 6'3", and oh God, he's probably like 250, 240, 250. And you've seen McGuire. McGuire's a dancer, so he can put away food like there's no tomorrow, and he's so skinny I have to like take all his pants in just to get around his waist.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh. So yeah, no, I agree. It's hard, it's difficult, and that's one of the things I love about 2B Mindset as well. She gives you so many tips that you can just throw food together. It's like, oh, what's in my fridge? I can throw this together. I can throw that together. And just having certain, like being really prepared. It's not that you're not being prepared, but you're being prepared in a different way. Like, let me make sure I have my frozen cauliflower rice, or let me, she really shows you how to be prepared with your grocery shopping and then know how to throw it all together, which I do love that about her. Tell me something. You are drinking Shakeology daily, right?
I am.
How has that helped you throughout the last 6 months?
It keeps me satisfied. Yeah, the last. It keeps me satisfied. It really does. I usually drink it with my lunch.
Okay.
I don't. I don't eat breakfast. I kind of do like a mini fast. I don't eat anything after 7 p.m. and then I don't eat until 11. So I kind of do like a mini fast throughout those hours. And when I'm hungry at lunch, I'll usually eat a salad or something like either a small piece of fish or salad, and then I'll have my Shakeology with that.
Awesome. And that works well for you. You don't
I
mind.
haven't tried it any other way, so
Yeah.
it works for me, but I
Yeah.
don't know. I never tried taking it in the morning or at night. I
Yeah.
just prefer to take it at lunch with my first meal of the day.
I love the flexibility. Like if you're tracking it and it's working, go for it, right?
Yeah.
I personally just switched up my Shakeology, and it's been a huge game changer for me. Literally, that one little tiny change has made such a big difference for me. Instead of drinking it in the morning, which I normally would do for breakfast, I realized I'm going to eat a normal breakfast, maybe 2 eggs, some kale, a piece of toast, and then I have my lunch. And then in between lunch and dinner, I'm now having my shake. And I find that because before I was just eating too much dinner. Like you know how Alana says she's a volume eater?
Mhm.
I'm a volume, like I can pack down more food than most people. So I was eating too much for dinner. I was having like 2, 3 servings. I just wasn't satiated. And so I started having my shake in the afternoon in between dinner and lunch, and I found that I was eating like I was satiated. I'd eat one meal and I was fine, and I wasn't craving anything afterwards, which was huge because I was in a bad habit over these last couple weeks of having a treat after dinner. It was such a bad habit. And I knew it was going to be hard to break that habit, but when I made this switch with my Shakeology, it wasn't hard. And I couldn't believe it wasn't hard. I was like, what is going on? And now I'm like down 3.5 pounds without like the whole, oh, I want something sweet after dinner. You know what I mean? So that was a huge change for me. Small change, huge result. I was really happy with that. But yeah, you can put that in wherever. And I think it does. It makes you full longer, and it keeps me from, now I can say it keeps me from wanting sweets. Does it do the same for you, or do you find other things that it helps you with?
Um, I still, I've never been like a huge sweet person, but every now and then I do crave sweets. But it just makes me feel satisfied. Then I can make it to dinner, and then I try to eat a small little snack after dinner, but it's always something small, some sugar-free Jello, or um, I make my own peanut butter and then I'll eat it on celery sticks. Something small like that.
Yeah, I love that idea. That's a great idea. So tell me other things. So we know, oh, well, first of all, we never said your stats. So how much weight have you lost?
As of this morning, I'm down 15 pounds, 8 ounces.
Oh, that's awesome. And you completed a full round of your first program, right?
Yes, that was
How
the
do you,
country.
Country Heat. How do you feel physically? Like, other than the weight loss? The weight loss is big, but other than the weight loss, how do you feel between doing Country Heat, drinking Shakeology, following 2B Mindset? What has changed?
My stamina. I'm able to, do by the time I was done with Country Heat, I wasn't bored, but I was kind of bored. Like I was like, okay, I'm ready for something more challenging. So I could tell in myself that I was ready to move on to something a little harder, but I didn't want to go too hard because at the time when I started, I have a heel spur. So my right foot was very, very, very tender, my heel. And my right knee has been bad from a skiing accident for years. So I tend to, kind of compensate or go easy on my knees. And by the time I was done with that, I was ready for something more challenging. And that's when I moved to the bar.
How are you loving bar?
I love it. I'm in my second week and it is so challenging and I love it. And I'm not going to lie. There are many things that she does that I'm like, nope, I'm not finishing this round. I can't do it. Especially I had 2 C-sections. So my stomach muscles have never come back. So I'm getting better. But when it's ab day, I tend to go as long as I can until I just can't even breathe anymore. And I know I'm supposed to be breathing. So I stop and take that rest that I need. And then I pick it back up. But yeah, it's challenging and I love it. The next day I my muscles just have that all over tired feel. It's not pain. I'm not uncomfortable. It's just, I feel like I've done something, and that motivates me to want to do it again.
I love that. Oh, that is so great. I love that feeling that it's challenging, but it feels so good. I love that. But I love that you started with Country Heat first, because it gave you the confidence. I feel like it gave you the confidence to want to do something challenging, right?
Yes. If I would have started with bar, I would have given it up. I know myself well enough. I needed to start with something easy, mostly cardio, just to kind of get my body used to it. And in this time, I've also been using my bike because the weather was cold. It was awful. Like 2 or 3 days I could go out and walk, but the rest of the days it was just awful. So I'd hop on my bike for another 30 minutes just to get a little extra boost, like later in the day, just to burn off some energy because I'm stuck in the house.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of, I'm not doing the bike as much now that I'm doing the bar because I feel like I'm challenging myself more.
Yeah. Tell me, how do you think you would have felt throughout this whole lockdown if you weren't working on like all those things, the Country Heat, bar, your nutrition? How do you think you would have felt?
I would have gone out of my mind, literally, because I get up. I started doing the workouts first thing in the morning, and then I realized that was not quite working for me. So I get up, I work for a while, eat a lunch around 11, and then I do my workout around like 12 or 1. And that's been working better with my schedule. But with the Country Heat, just I was focused on getting on the bike for 30 minutes first thing in the morning, doing the Country Heat, and then in the afternoon I get on the bike for another 30 minutes or 20 minutes. And it was like I was using the exercise to completely fill my day while monitoring my emails to make sure there wasn't work to be done. Now that work has picked up a little bit more and everybody's kind of gotten on the page of how to work from home, there's more work for me to do. So doing the bar, around 12, 1 o'clock, it's been perfect for me.
That's awesome. Do you feel like using the whole system has made a difference in your energy levels?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Tell me a little bit more. Like, what was life like before, and how has it changed your energy now?
Um, it's like I said, when this all started, I was sitting on the sofa or in my bed watching TV, and my bedroom is also my workspace because we live here with my mom too. So that was the only space I could get some quiet work area, and I would never leave my bed. I'd sit there, I'd do my work from my bed, watch TV at the same time, and I just never left my bed. Now I get up first thing in the morning when my husband gets ready for work. I get ready for work, I have a bunch of athletic pants I put on, and I sit at a desk, I work, I get up, I move around, I'm more active throughout the day. Um, I feel like I have energy even into the evening. Like, so there were 2 or 3 days where it wasn't possible for me to work out as early as I like to, but I still had the energy at 5 o'clock when I was ready to finally turn it on and get going. I had plenty of energy to get through it and still have a productive evening, get out in the garden and, run errands, whatever I needed to do.
Oh my gosh, this makes my heart sing. I mean, seriously, I think what you're saying to me is like, okay, not only do I have more energy, I'm more productive and I'm enjoying life more.
Yes.
And that's what I'm getting out of what you're saying. And I think that how much like that changes people. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you can enjoy life more, that's amazing, right?
Yes, especially right now with everything going on. I see a lot of my friends posting how, depressed they are, how awful this is. And I have like a completely different, I said, I almost feel bad because I'm loving this. I love it. I love being home. I'm not chained to my desk. I can work out. I can do stuff for myself. I love it.
I'm loving your spirit right now. Like, I love it. Okay, so real quick before we get going, I want you to tell me a little bit about. Well, I'm going to share a little bit. I don't know your whole story, guys. Just to give you a heads up, Sheila and I did not get on the phone before this.
No.
I asked Sheila last night. I was like, Sheila, do you want to do coffee talk with us? She's like, sure. I go, when do you think would be a good time? She's like, whenever. I'm like, how about tomorrow? She's like, okay. I love it. So Sheila joined one of my free groups years ago, and last week we talked a little bit about books and how they changed our life. And I'm not sure if you were introduced to Dave Ramsey prior to this.
Not at all.
No, okay. So when I did this, my husband and I were going through one of Dave Ramsey's programs, and I said, you know what, let's do a free group around this. Honestly, that was the only time I did that free group. But here's the deal. I did that group. We all agreed to read Dave Ramsey, Total Money Makeover, which is one of the books I talked about last week, which talks about how you can get out of debt, how you can save. He really organizes budgeting. He organizes your money life, your life around money, right? And it's very organized and very efficient. And Sheila was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. And I didn't know, like I had no idea that you were like running with it, right? So when I talked to Sheila recently about, joining our group and our system, and out of nowhere, she's like, by the way, what did this book do for you? Encourage other people to read it.
Okay. I hadn't heard of him. I hadn't read him until you introduced me to him. And I've read 3 of his books now, and it completely changed my life. I'm not proud of my background, but I'll go back and give you an idea of just how bad my situation was. Back in 2004, I was going through an awful divorce, my second divorce. And at the same time, my first ex-husband decided, oh, while she's down, let's kick her, and tried to take my other son from me. So I was in the middle of 2 court battles. Perfectly fine. Everything was fine. My son stayed with me. I moved to Chicago to get away for a while. But in that time, those court cases completely just killed me financially. And I ended up filing for bankruptcy. I had no choice. I couldn't keep my head above water. So that was in 2011. So by the time I moved back to Pennsylvania, I had nothing. I literally had nothing. And I started working here at Lehigh University, and I was starting to put things back together. And I had so much other debt from just moving that I just didn't know how to bring my credit back. And you had that thing, what was that, 4 years ago? 3 years ago?
Maybe more. It might have been 5 years ago. I don't remember how long ago it was.
Okay, well, I was married. I'm married to my third and final husband.
Oh no.
Everything to work, and I started paying off and rolling my payments for one thing into the next, and just one after another, everything got knocked off. And now I'm purchasing a home, and they checked my credit just last night, and I am well over 700. I'm in the excellent range, and I'm buying the house on my own by myself. So
Oh my gosh.
it's completely changed my life. And it was a slow process. You just have to keep being mindful and working at it. And it changed my life in the last 4 years.
That's okay. So first of all, I hope you guys all heard that because my internet went bad. So I hope it actually filmed it too. But second of all, that's amazing. I love your story. I think it's so important. And by the way, don't ever feel bad about telling your story. Don't ever feel bad about your background. We have all struggled with different things. Please don't ever feel bad about it. It's incredibly inspiring too, to hear someone going through a struggle and coming out on top. And I think that I think you should share it more. Like, you should talk to more people and share it more, because it's hearing someone struggle and then coming out on the other side is incredibly inspiring, and it lets other people know that they can do it too, you know?
Right.
Which is partly what we do. Like, that's all we do as coaches, is we share our struggles and how we came out from it and inspire other people to do it too. Just through our sharing.
All of that leads to what I had said earlier about the bonus to myself, because I've been so mindful of where every dollar goes that I was feeling guilty about wanting to put money towards myself. And I'm like, you know what? This money isn't even mine. The government is giving it to me. So I'm going to set aside that money and do this. The thing that I've been talking to you for years about getting involved in, I'm going to just do it. So I had the funds. It wasn't even my money. So it wasn't money that I had plans for. So I thought, that's what I'm going to do. And I did it.
That is just awesome. Guys, like, we have some people saying congratulations, by the way. And
oh, thank you.
Melanie said, I love it. I'm so happy for you. Samantha says, awesome. Yeah, it's so awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I think it's really important for everybody to hear. I think it's incredibly inspiring. Patty says, huge hurdle. Like, this is awesome. So yes, I'm so proud of you, and I'm so honored to have you on here and talking to us. I think it's really cool that you're open to sharing your story with others. And I just want you to finish it up in a nutshell. Just how has life changed over the last 6 weeks? How has it life changed? I mean, you kind of already went over that, so I don't want to make you like beat a dead horse. Gosh, I hate these phrases that we say. Here's what I want you to end with. I want you to tell people, whoever's listening, right? Whoever might be struggling, fell off the wagon, haven't started yet, tell them why they should plug back into the system.
Oh, well, since I started, I mean, like I said, I have more energy. I feel good. I feel good about myself. I feel good about what I put in my body. I feel good about the exercises. Other than that, unfortunately, because of COVID, not much else is able to change yet. I can't wait until I can get outside and be more active and go hiking and bike riding. And I mean, I can, but kids are too scared. But yeah, it's, I guess just, it made me change my mindset. Like I said, everybody's so depressed and, oh, this is awful and I can't stand this, I'm losing my mind. I don't have that feeling. I feel great. I feel healthier than I've been in years. I feel stronger than I've been in years. I'm doing push-ups, which I don't think I've done in years. And it just makes me feel good. And I think if people are on the fence, I mean, how long was I on the fence? 3 years? I was on the fence. And it's like, I had to really push myself to say, you know what, take the time. And I know the time is a struggle. I know it is, because that was always my excuse. It was just, I didn't have time to do it.
Yeah.
Take the time for yourself. Put yourself first. I mean, what is an hour out of your day? 30 minutes to work out, 30 minutes to read. It doesn't take much.
Yeah. Samantha said it took her 3 years to commit to.
Yeah, 3 years. Honest to God, I think the very first time I ever knew of you, you posted on my cousin's Facebook page, I think, Michelle Liddy.
Yeah.
Or Michelle Holtzman. I think you posted something on there, and I was like, oh, hey. And I commented, and that got us talking. And that was probably 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I've been on the fence for like 5 years. I don't know. But you had.
I'm sorry, my internet's totally bugging out on me. All right, so.
No, I said you did that one workout or you did a whole bunch of workouts at Accent, and I was there for the one.
Yes, that was so much fun. Maybe we'll play again.
Yeah, everything opens up, maybe.
But yeah, no, thank you so much. And I think what we can get out of this is, A, don't wait so long. No.
No,
So
don't. Put yourself first for just a little bit. And I know that's so, it sounds so awful. And everybody says, oh, I can't put myself first. I've got kids, I've got family. You know what? Your kids and your family need you to be healthy, and they need you to be happy. I can't imagine how people are doing it when they're so depressed and so down with all this stuff, how their family's coping if mom's falling apart, you know?
that's right. When you put yourself first, it helps you take care of everybody else.
Yep.
And you're right. I love that you said it only takes 30 minutes. It's only a 30-minute workout, maybe 30 minutes of reading or watching a video, and that's it. So an hour a day, an hour to make yourself so happy, so productive, in a good mood, being able to have more energy to spend with the time with your loved ones, to actually live life. I love it. So thank you so much, Sheila. I'm so proud of you. So proud of you. I'm just so happy. So okay, here guys, here's the deal. If you have a story, any story, please share it with me and I'll get you on here and we'll interview you also, because I think it's really important. It's within the stories, it's within the struggles that we can learn from each other, and it's within the stories that we can be inspired by each other. It's within those struggles. So don't ever, when you're in the middle of a struggle, I want you to remember that this is going to help somebody else in the future. When you working through your struggle is going to help somebody else in the future. And if you have anybody else that you think would want to share their story, please let me know, because I love having other people on here to share. So love you guys all. If you have any more questions, put them in here. I'll go through this really quick. That's fantastic, Samantha lost 40 pounds and has changed. Samantha, it sounds like you're next up, girlfriend, to be interviewed. I'm going to have to talk to you. She's not even on here. Like her video is not even on. Samantha, you're going to get a call from me soon. Okay, so let's get a picture. Let's get a picture and then I'll let you guys go. You ready? Give me a pose. Check a pose. 1, 2, 3. All right, I think I got it. All right. Talk to you later, guys. Love you. Bye.